Percy sat pouting in his siding. His driver was removing the Fat Controller's trousers from his funnel and grimacing at the sticky jam staining his jacket. "Never mind you, it's my clothes that'll need a good washdown. It'll take days to get this out," he grunted. Percy blushed and looked at his buffers. Just then, Thomas backed in. He couldn't help but chuckle. "What a lovely scarf you've got." "It's not lovely," retorted Percy. "It's horrid, and I don't want it." "Silly Percy, you're an engine, not a person like driver or fireman. Coal and water beat scarves and sticky jam any day. Perhaps you should stick to what you know." And he chuffed off, chortling at his own wit. When Thomas comes down his branch line, he pulls his train. But as he leaves the big station, he pushes it. His driver controls him from Clarabelle's cab, and a red tail lamp is put on his running board to let the signalman know that Thomas is the end of the train. The next day the weather was colder, and fog hung thick in the air, but the gloom did nothing to dampen Thomas's spirits. He was still chuckling as he backed his train from the top station. Silly Percy, he guffawed. Thomas laughed so much that he let off a great wheeze of steam. The man on the platform jumped. He dropped his briefcase, and papers flew everywhere. "You bothersome engine," he huffed, shaking his fist. "Just look at what you've done." Thomas blushed and silently composed himself. Driver, fireman, guard, and station master scurried to catch the papers, which seemed more interested in floating in the breeze than being in a briefcase. After a great deal of chasing, they were all securely in the passenger's briefcase. "Good glory!" exclaimed the guard, checking his watch. "It's nearly time to leave." He blew his whistle and waved his flag, and Thomas started down the branch line. But in the confusion, no one had remembered to move the tail lamp from Thomas to Clarabelle. Come along, he puffed. "Settle down," Thomas advised his driver. "We can't go dashing about in this fog." "Puh," sniffed Thomas. "I'm not accident-prone like Percy." At the big station, the signalmen could hardly see out of their box. "What on earth is that?" they thought, squinting out the window. It was only Thomas, hurrying towards the station. But all the signalmen could see was a fast-approaching tail lamp. "Great heavens!" they cried. "It's a runaway!" Frantically, they jerked the lever and set the points for the siding. Thomas, unaware, felt pleased with himself. "Right on time, right on—" "Oh!" he cried. When he opened his eyes, Thomas found himself derailed. The remnants of the buffers crunched beneath his wheels. The signalman telephoned the Fat Controller at once. No one had been hurt, but the passengers were furious at their sudden shakedown. The Fat Controller quelled their fury, then turned his attention to Thomas. "My fault, sir," sighed the signalman. "I only saw the tail lamp through the fog, and—" "An understandable mistake," interrupted the Fat Controller. "As for you, Thomas, I hope this will teach you the importance of proper tail lamp placement, and taking care in fog." "Yes, sir," said Thomas. Percy arrived to pull Thomas back onto the rails. "Dearie me," he smirked. "Thought you'd try masquerading as a brake van, did you? Silly Thomas, you really should stick to what you know." What Thomas did know was that he would never mention scarves or sticky jam around Percy again.